Hello, and welcome back to Haven of Horrors. We're excited to have you here today. One of our players will be joining us about halfway through. They had a prior engagement during the first part of our session, so Ari will be here about halfway through. But without further ado, let's do our introductions. Hello, I'm Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I will be your narrator for this afternoon. Ro, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Ro. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Alina, who uses she, her pronouns.
Birdie.
Hello, I am Birdie. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Maria, who uses the same.
And last but not least, Kestrel.
Hi, I am Kestrel. I use these, them, theirs pronouns, and I will be playing Apia, who uses they, them, theirs pronouns.
And our fourth player for when they join, Ari uses he, him pronouns, and he is playing Vivian, who uses she, her pronouns. We return from our couple of sessions, rather, not weeks, of interpersonal little interludes to a case today. I will give the content warnings before the case, as I always do. But everyone sort of makes your way into the office or wakes up, depending on whether or not you sleep in the archive. As usual. Maria, what did you do with your time off? You took a couple of days off. What did Maria do?
Oh, I had spooky flu. It's like the normal flu, but spookier.
Coughing up meat.
Paperwork.
You know it when you have it.
Yeah. You go into the doctor and you don't even need to like get tested. You just walk in and you say, "I've got spooky flu."
Yeah. So I've been resting.
That's good. Glad Maria has gotten some rest. The rest of the team went and dug around where they shouldn't have, as always. Apia spent some time with some mannequins and broke one of the director's many secret cameras that are watching the Institute from every room. Alina reunited some ghosts with each other by summoning a dead spirit. And
now I have to go clean up the mess because I accidentally summoned a bunch of other ghosts. So I think for the last few, I don't know how long of a time span it's been between that episode and now.
Probably like a week or two.
Right. Alina's been uncharacteristically not around the office because she's all around town chasing ghosts, doing spooky cleanup of her mess.
she released about a dozen ghosts into the atmosphere that needed to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And Vivian went to a secret meeting that she hasn't talked to any of your characters about, but all of you can know out of character, with the director, where the director gave her an iBook and asked her to do some research because the director wanted a second opinion on the book and what it does. Which maybe we'll get to see some of the after effects of once Vivian gets here. And as you sort of file in, Damien looks up from their desk and says, "We have a case today if you'd like to meet me in the conference room whenever you're ready. But if there's anything you'd like to do before heading in, you are welcome to do that."
Apia. Oh, go ahead.
Just glad to be back.
It's good to have you back. We missed you.
Apia pulls a reusable in that it's been used multiple times, paper coffee cup from inside of their coat and gets a cup of coffee.
There's always coffee ready in the archive. Damien just kind of makes coffee every hour or so, and it's just there.
Maria has started amassing a collection of novelty mugs on her desk. Some of them are shaped like little animals. Some of them have like motivational slogans on them. It's all very Target.
Are other people allowed to use Maria's
Yes.
novelty mugs?
Yes.
Damien particularly likes, do you know those mugs that you can get at Target that just have like a single word like live on
Yeah.
them? Those
Yeah.
ones?
He has a
Or
couple
like
of those.
yeah, so any of those that are like mildly ominous, Damien likes to drink his coffee out of.
There's one where instead of saying live, it just says die.
Maria's like, I did not buy this.
It was meant to say dine, but it is a mistake.
Had a printing error.
It just
The-
she walked into the archive and like half of the mug's words reversed.
Yeah.
She's got one that's like, wait, this said breathe. Why does this say suffocate?
I want to say, Apia, like, specifically Belladonna would collect novelty mugs, or rather does, but they won't, Vale won't let them carry any of them in their coat because they don't have room. So they're all at their house.
I will take care of them for you. I will babysit your mugs.
I'm just imagining like an Etsy mom with a Cricut cutter who makes those like vinyl cutouts for mugs, and she sends the vinyl cutouts to the institute, and they say like live, laugh, love, and then they get here and it just says murder.
I think
It says gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
I think that Belladonna and Maria should go on Ray Dunn runs together.
Belladonna is like unhinged in a very specific way.
Yeah, and she's gonna fight off all of the other people that want the mugs. Like
Yeah,
these
I
are
think-
very sought after.
I think we should let the two of them just loose in an antique mall.
The cutthroat world of antique mug, novelty mug collections.
You joke, but
Yeah. Alina will walk into the conference room, I guess is what we call it.
It's a conference room in that it's a slightly larger office that has enough room for 4 people to sit in.
Right. We'll look at Damien and say, does the statement have anything to do with ghosts?
No. Should
Good.
it?
Thank you. No. She sits.
Are you okay?
I haven't slept in 3 days. Go on.
Fair enough. It's just like Damien's like, I feel like that's normal for you, but I'm not gonna ask any questions. All right, as ever, this part of the episode is the part that's going to have the most content warnings. So the content warnings for this episode are body horror, gyms and exercise. There won't be any discussion of weight or anything like that, but I know gyms and exercise can also be very triggering. Body image and body dysmorphia, descriptions of muscle and tissue and bone, gore, and some mild discussion of medical transitioning. So if any of those things trigger you or make you upset, please feel free to take a step back while I read the statement. And I will make another announcement once we're past the thick of the triggering content and back into the investigation. You all sit down, and before he starts, Damien says, this statement actually came to us by way of the hospital. The statement giver is currently being treated there. So on one hand, we do know they're alive, but they are currently being housed in the secret wing of the hospital. Statement of Corbin Rex regarding a gym membership that gave him a lot more than he expected. Everyone says you're supposed to build muscle better on tea. That was one of the many benefits listed in the pamphlets I picked up at the clinic. I'll admit, I was pretty excited about that. I'd never necessarily been strong or muscular before. Of course, to get that benefit, I actually had to start working out. Now, I haven't really done any sort of organized exercise since high school. It's hard to find the motivation at home, Fitness programs are always outside of my range of ability, and just hanging out at a gym is anxiety inducing in ways I can't even begin to explain. So I started asking around for recommendations. I asked my trans support group, the clinic I was getting my tea from, the LGBT center down by campus, anywhere I was sure the people wouldn't recommend some scary, hypermasculine, conservative workout group. I got the most recommendations for this new gym down in Old Town. A group renovated one of the old warehouses. There's space for dance classes, yoga, weight training, all those fancy workout machines, and some pools down in the basement. And the owners are progressive, all about safe spaces to work out. So there's a time slot for women to come and work out, a time slot for general LGBT folks, a time slot for trans people, even a few specialized classes that work with disabilities instead of against them. Genuinely, I thought the place was too good to be true when I read the website, but with all the recommendations, I figured I might as well give it a try. After a few sessions, I was definitely feeling the effects of the workouts. They must have been really well targeted or something. All the muscles I wanted to work on were showing some serious improvement. It was a huge confidence boost. Imagine starting to have biceps so nice you could see them through shirt sleeves after a matter of weeks. I let it get to my head a bit. I wasn't a scrawny, helpless, weak kid to be picked on and made fun of anymore. I felt good. I looked good. I was toned and muscular, and I could lift weights I'd never even dreamt of. It was amazing. But it didn't just stop at toned, or even muscular, or buff, or beefy. It's going to sound ridiculous. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I started growing extra muscles, new muscles, muscles in places there definitely weren't before. And I don't mean in the, oh wow, there were abs somewhere under that hoodie kind of way. I mean, I woke up with excruciating growing pains and muscles sprouting up under my skin, knotted and corded and unreasonably strong. And horrible stretching, crunching pain as my bones grew and shifted to accommodate the new structure. I got a few extra inches out of it, 5 or 6 probably, but it was the most painful 6 inches I've ever experienced. My bones weren't ready for that sort of thing. I wasn't supposed to be this tall. I stumbled over things, I bumped into every surface. My body was rebelling against every change it was going through. Second puberty was always going to be hard, I get that, but I wasn't expecting this. I only ever noticed at home though. At the gym, I always felt perfect. My body looked exactly the way I wanted. I spent the whole time I worked out looking in the mirrors and feeling so good. I couldn't just give that up. I couldn't stop going to the gym. Even if as soon as I stepped outside, it felt like it was changing me permanently. This is different though. This isn't just muscle. I'm not just getting stronger and thicker. I can't write this off as my body just reacting really well to testosterone and workouts. A few days ago, I woke up with a soreness in all of my bones. It hurt so much all over. I was sure I had some sort of flu or something. So I went down to the clinic. Figured I'd get myself checked out, have a note for a few days off of work, and get back on my feet. When the doctor was listening to my chest, something surprised them. They took me in for x-rays. I figured it was pneumonia again. I've got a pretty shit immune system, so it happens every now and then. But it wasn't fluid in my lungs. In fact, it wasn't anything in my lungs. It was extra ribs. New ones. Growing out of new vertebrae. Those extra inches, they weren't my bones getting longer. They were new bones growing. The doctors were confused. I could tell. They had no answers for me, and I was scared. What the fuck are you supposed to do when you start growing new bones? When's it gonna stop? What if it doesn't? What's going to grow next? And how many other people in that place are growing new bones too? All right. That is the end of the worst and most in-depth, gory, body horror-y part. So it's a little bit safer to listen now. when we get to the place in question, I will probably also have some content warnings for us, but the investigation will be a little bit less intimately triggering than the statement. Damien just sort of puts the statement down and just kind of like, it seems rude to say it, but it's not as bad as it could be compared to the other things that we've necessarily dealt with.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, at least it's not pneumonia. I've had that. It's not good.
Maria is thinking.
Thinking emoji?
Yeah. Thinking and just kind of idly like running her hands along along her new little teeth arm.
Her arm teeth.
She has thoughts.
AP is trying really, really hard not to express how much they want this person's skeleton.
Please give me your bones.
Like, I hope you don't die, but if you do, can I have your bones? I'd really like to have them.
AP is in luck. Anyone who dies in the spooky zone of the hospital, their remains are just sent to the institute.
Hell yes. Let me get in on that.
I heard an ooh from Birdie.
I just opened up my character sheet and I have it looks like I have an advancement banked.
Ooh.
I have an idea of how I might want to use it, but I have to lose another humanity point first.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Vivian's down to 2.
Okay, I still have 4.
Yeah, Vivian's down to 2 points of humanity. She's looking rough.
I have a move that I want. So I think I'll be looking for an opportunity to make that happen.
So on the one hand, we have the advantage in this case of knowing, of having, how would you call it? A captive subject to go ask. I mean, I doubt we'll have many problems finding and subsequently interviewing the statement giver.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, he's still in the hospital.
I can take care of that. He sounds like one of mine.
I'd like to come with.
Sorry, he sounds like one of mine is a very ominous statement, and I'm very happy that Maria said it.
One of yours is in the meat or as in LGBT?
Correct.
Both?
Yes. All.
We are all meat people.
It's just that for some of us, our meat isn't the right shape.
I'm gonna make one of those like Target Pride shirts, but instead of like pride or whatever in the gay flag colors, it just says meat.
And it's all like shades of flesh.
If we were the kind of show that had merch, that would be what I want the Maria merch to be.
It says meat, but it's in the lesbian flag colors instead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to read out a joke that someone said in the chat, which is the B in LGBT stands for beef. And the L stands for leg of lamb.
All right. Well, in that case, we've got 2 out of 3. Alina, do you also want to come?
I suppose the air will do me some good. I've spent too much time in the sticks lately. So yeah, sure.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck. I don't particularly like the hospital, so I'm going to stay here.
I like the smell of the hospital.
The antiseptic.
Yes. I've spent way too much time there. It grew on me.
Fair enough, I guess.
I like Apia just like takes a sip of their coffee and says, I like the feeling of empty people.
I don't like the hospital. I just want to speak to a person. Is that okay?
It's
Oh, yes.
weird.
Please do. Thankfully, Maria can drive.
You
When
have
Maria
that.
and Vivian aren't here, we have to catch like spooky Ubers.
Spoobers.
Spooky.
Ubers. We take the evil public transit system.
I was gonna
The dark public transit.
There's a joking there about like ghost trains or ghost bus, I guess.
Gus.
Gus Ghost Bus.
Sorry, I'm a
yeah.
man made of portmanteaus and nothing else.
Yeah, you pile into the mystery machine, and we begin playing the Taylor Swift CD that Maria has hardwired into the car.
She spends the entire drive explaining to you why Taylor Swift is re-recording her masters and how this is actually a really great thing for the health of the music industry and artists' rights.
I'm so happy for Maria.
She's been listening to Love Story Taylor's version on repeat for like 3 weeks. It's doing things to her brain.
Is this her preparation for her date with Vivian?
I think if Maria mentions Taylor Swift to Vivian too many times, she will break up with her. So she might just be getting it out of her system.
Right.
So we get to the hospital.
I have to say, this either has to be some sort of like jank ass vinyl radio or everything has to be on cassette. Otherwise, I feel like Apia is gonna accidentally short out the radio.
Don't worry, I have Taylor Swift cassettes. I came prepared. We are accommodating here.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
I'm so happy.
We make it to the.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Maria business expensing Taylor Swift cassettes on the company card.
She's like paying her rent on the company card at this point.
No one's stopping her. Why would they?
She's like, I think if I didn't have a place to live, I would be a worse employee. So.
But yeah, so you arrive at the hospital, and you are taken up to the secret floor of the hospital, where at this point they just kind of know you, so they let you in. There's no need to like check your IDs or whatever.
I got teeth on my arms. Like.
Yeah, you just show your elbows and they're like, yeah, come in.
They know who I am because I'm the stupid tall one in like 7 layers.
Hey, I'm here for the fucked up floor.
I'm here to go to what the fuck.
Hey, do y'all have a dentist here actually?
Apia has to take a special route up there so they don't accidentally short out all of the equipment.
All the hospital equipment is packed away when Apia walks in, so the computers that are running everything don't go haywire.
Right. We go through the elevator and then there's like a montage of Apia just going up the stairs. It's like comedically long.
Yeah, Apia climbing 14 flights of stairs.
Right.
But yeah, you reach the floor, and again, this floor is kind of subdivided into different like wards of folks who are here for different things. If you recall correctly, Danica is not here. She was removed from the hospital under duplicitous circumstances. So you can't visit the fire girl But there are a handful of other patients here, one of whom is Corbin. And if you ask at the front desk, they will just tell you which room Corbin is in, point down the hall.
Okay.
Are you just walking in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corbin is seated in their hospital bed. There's definitely a little bit too much person in the hospital bed than you expect. No, like, not necessarily any extra limbs, but like definitely more bone and muscle and tissue than an average person would be. And just sort of like, huh? Sorry, disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna grow that many extra bones, you might as well get like an arm out of it.
He just hasn't gotten that far yet. It takes longer to grow an arm. But like, you can very obviously tell that the like spinal column and rib cage are expanded, because sitting down, well, like he's sitting with his back up against the like pillow. His torso is probably like almost 4 feet long. And like the rib cage portion extends down almost to like where someone's like navel would be. And he looks up as you enter and just sort of like looks between you all and says, can I help you with something?
We are with the Ravenwood Institute, Mr. Rex.
Oh, so you got my letter.
We did.
And you believe me?
Yeah. We've seen a lot weirder, actually. Yours is kind of.
Show Maria. Show him your teeth.
Oh, okay.
It'll make him be more at ease, I guess. I suppose.
Okay. No one's ever said that about them before. So she rolls up her sleeves, and the scar, she still has the scars on her arms from her little corruption incident. So her the skin of her arms almost looks like twisted and molded, as if she was a statue that someone grabbed while the clay was still wet. And then when she kind of holds up her arm here, there is just a line of teeth about 6 inches long. Just human teeth growing out of her arm. She declares they do bite, so don't touch it.
I have to say also, I just Googled it. Apia would have to duck through the door to get in here because they're 7 foot even and doors are about 6.5 feet tall in hospitals. Apia just like ducking through the door, unnaturally tall.
Hello.
And also like kind of like this in the room because they're just barely, I think if they stand up full height, they could basically, their hair is brushing the ceiling.
I have more teeth too, but they're in my mouth. And he opens his mouth and tilts his head back, and there's a whole second row of teeth growing behind the first, like a shark.
Neat. So what have they actually been doing to you here? Like, I don't think, are you just kind of sitting here? What's going on?
Every once in a while, we go and take more x-rays, and they catalog new growth is how they have described it to me every time, which from what I have taken is just means count how many new bones I have.
So they're
and
not actually doing anything. They're just kind of watching.
I think so. I mean, I don't know how you treat new bones, but I definitely haven't had anything done to me necessarily.
I have an idea. It might feel a little weird, but I think you already feel a little weird.
A little, yeah.
Anyway, oh, I never introduced myself. My name's Maria. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Corbin.
Okay. Do you mind if I touch you?
Yeah, just uh, not in my mouth. The teeth are weird.
I wasn't gonna touch your teeth, don't worry. So Maria is going to just kind of touch, I guess, his
Feel.
arms. Yeah, like muscles. And I would like to I'm gonna roll my within your skin move because I want to understand what's weird about him. And what I really want to know is a big thing about this power is feeling where your body ends and other things begin.
Mhm.
So is that his body still? Can we, based on this feeling, can I feel what are his and what are weird?
Yeah, I think you could do that. Do you have to roll for the feeling?
I do have to roll. I'll read out the move.
Because I know you had to roll for like helping people, but I wasn't sure if you had to also read for
Here. So it's within your skin. You are aware of everything within your body, from the sensation on your skin to the blood pumping through your veins to the boundaries of your organs. To impose this feeling upon others, roll plus power. On a 7 to 9, those within your immediate vicinity or one person you are touching gains the same awareness you do. On a 10 plus, this awareness becomes so unsettling they may attempt to escape their skin. When combined with contact, this can be used to break a trance created by another entity.
Perfect. Yeah, we can see what you can feel underneath the skin.
Hopefully, I rolled an 8.
Okay.
Which is I didn't want a 10 plus.
That's good. We rolled exactly what we wanted. Yeah, so you reach out and place your hands on Corbin and sort of expand that awareness that you have outwards.
Tell me what you feel. I know it's weird.
There's a lot.
Okay. Can you tell the difference between yourself and whatever is growing? It's really hard.
And you sort of like watch as he's like really trying to focus and sort of like honing in on the feelings that he has. And he says, the new stuff is warmer.
Interesting.
And well, I mean, it hurts because it's growing, but
warmer as in heat or with an O?
With heat with an O. Worm.
It is a valid question in our
Wormer.
Alina asks that and like he goes, not worms. Could it be worms?
It could be worms. It has been in my experience, but if it's not, that's good.
Remember when we said it could be worse? It could be worms.
It could be a lot of worms.
I don't think it's worms.
I think if it were worms, we would both know by now.
But yeah, it feels warmer and loud is a bad word, but loud.
I know what you mean. Sometimes your body is very loud. I have another idea.
Okay.
And last time I did this, she kind of shows us the weird twisty arms again. So I can't promise anything. But you think a bad idea is better than sitting and watching?
I have one question. It might not be at all relevant, but is it just muscle and bone what's growing extra, or
Yeah, do you have
are
any extra
there
organs?
extra organs?
Corbin sort of like points to the file folder on the wall, and says,
I'll take
"You
that.
you can look through that if you want. I don't really care."
But if you'd be able to feel it if there were.
Not. I haven't grown anything new yet. Emphasis on the yet. They are expecting me to, I think.
New in the sense of not human organs.
I don't have any extra ones, but my lungs are longer, and also my heart has changed in shape to accommodate the other changes. It's growing another chamber, apparently.
Right.
Sorry. That's all I'm gonna say about hearts.
Me, the body horror character with the body horror phobia.
So they're just basically like a Klingon. Like, this is out of character. Alina would not know about Star Trek.
All I thought of was that one meme about you can get your lungs extended. Do you know what I'm talking about, or did I just say something horrifying that nobody understands?
No, but I do want to see what this meme is.
I'll find it.
Want to know?
I'll find it over the break and I'll post it in the chat.
Perfect.
Yeah,
if you look through the file, there are like X-rays and CAT scans, and they show that all of the organs are growing to fit the new space. And there is open space, which is why the doctors have made assumptions that new things are coming, but they haven't filled in yet.
So, back to my question: do you think a bad idea is better than just watching? Because I won't touch you if you don't want me to, but
I have one thing about your idea. Sorry to interrupt again, but did we ever check up on the last person you used that idea on?
The flesh person? I mean, the slime person?
Yeah, the slime. Did we check on the slime?
We haven't heard from her again, so either she's fine or she's dead. One of the two. Do you want to go check on her? I mean, you probably still have her phone number.
Yes, I think Mr. Rex would like that, right? If we checked on if this idea worked.
Okay, but let me talk to you in the hall, okay, Alina?
Sure. What is it?
Okay, so when I used my projection thingy on the other person, it was just that. All I did was make it so she could feel herself separate from the slime thing. I didn't actually move anything. I've only ever done that on myself.
What?
I've only ever done that on myself.
Right, no, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that, I mean, ideally, what I understand you're trying to do is allow this person to control their own.
Oh no, I was just going to take out the extra bits and see what happens.
Oh, I thought you were going to expand their awareness so that they are more
I didn't even think.
able.
I didn't even think to do that. I don't know.
Isn't that what you did the last time? You helped them understand their situation so that they could manipulate it in a way,
Okay, so
sort of control it?
Not really. I just kind of booted the other entity. I just kind of made it. I just kind of broke the trance. He's not in a trance. He's growing extra pieces. It feels like a much simpler problem with a much simpler solution. Permission to remove bones?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand what removing some of the bones would help with if they're going to keep growing them.
I don't know, but it can at least give him some temporary relief and maybe buy him some time to figure out what's going on before he starts growing more intestines or something.
I mean, it's not like I have an alternative. You know what
we
my
don't have
one
a
solution
cure,
to this
but
problem
we can
is?
treat the symptoms.
Yeah. I would like to check on Slime Lady.
Okay. That seems
First,
like
lady.
to see how they're doing, because
Okay.
if they're doing fine, it means that your therapeutic methods are promising.
I mean, she is still probably a disciple of the corruption, so that might affect her answer. But let's just call her. Let's see how she's doing.
Do you want to talk to her, or should I? Because last time I talked to her, I did offer very kindly to kill her if she wanted to. But you know, people don't take that very well.
Alina, I can do this. I have a customer service voice just for phones.
I too have a customer service voice, but this person met me in like in real life.
Okay.
In the meat space.
How about you go convince this person that I'm not going to kill him if I start removing his bones. And I will make sure that our slime lady is still sliming away.
Or not, ideally.
Okay. I think
ideally she's not
ideally she's
slime anymore. Right?
I don't think I'm that good, is the thing.
You check on her. I guess I will attempt to put Mr. Rex at ease. That's a weird last name, Rex, isn't it? I thought there was a first name.
Maybe he switched both his names when he transitioned. People do that sometimes.
Right.
I'm gonna buy Alina a copy of the ABCs of LGBT and hand it to her.
I have to say also inside, Apia's just been standing in the hotel room, or not the hotel room, the hospital room, facing
just
the wall
looking
facing the wall and drinking in the delicious feeling of the fact that hospitals are a liminal space.
Yeah. If Apia wants to wander around, the like woman that Vivian turned back from a mannequin into a person is on this hospital floor. If Apia wanted to go,
I would love to go visit them. Love to see what's going on there.
But yeah.
While you're talking to Mr. Rex, I will duck out of the room and go somewhere else.
Alina looks at Corbin and goes, "They didn't ask for your bones, right? They might do that.
No,
don't take it
the
wrong way. They just collect them."
Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. But no, they didn't ask for my bones.
Oh, Maria's
cool is a word to describe that hobby. Sure.
I mean, I know people who collect bones, like animal skulls and stuff.
Avia collecting human bones.
Alina debating if she should expand on the situation. Yeah, like that, collecting bones.
Well, I mean, if if either of them want the extra teeth, I'm hoping they pull those out because it's hard to eat.
There's a mouth inside my mouth.
I know the opposite feeling.
Do you want them?
I
He is mostly joking.
I think I'm good with my fake ones.
Okay.
So far. Yeah.
So in the hallway, Maria is going through her phone contacts because I've decided she keeps a little notes app with all the like people that they've talked to and their contact information. So she's going to call. Does anybody here actually remember what her name was?
I mean, I do, but do any of you?
I do not.
No.
I have a memory disorder.
Mood. I have them all written down because I have all the statements. That's the only reason I know.
Yeah.
PbtA would probably remember if you ask them. Between the two of them, they probably remember.
Her name is Nadia Garib.
Okay. So I'm going to call Nadia.
It rings a couple of times, and then you hear the telltale click of a phone being answered. Just, hello? I don't recognize this number.
Hi, Nadia. This is Maria from the Ravenwood Institute. Last time we talked, I was removing a strange slime entity from your consciousness. I just wanted to follow up and see how that worked out.
Oh, right. You people.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
You don't have to. I'm just making sure you're still alive.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Still slimy?
Sometimes.
But it's not like consuming your entire life anymore?
No, I just can't hold things for long periods of time.
Good to hear it. Glad you're doing better.
Yeah. Please also let your friend know that I'm doing okay.
Okay, I will. I'll make sure to tell him. Really good to hear from you. I'm really glad that you're not like a puddle of goo.
You know, I'm also glad I'm not a puddle of goo.
All right. Have a great day.
Thanks. Click.
So I'm gonna poke my head in the hospital. Nadia's doing great. Only a little slimy.
Corbin, confused.
Corbin, see, it could be so much worse than extra bones.
Slimy?
She was turning into slime.
Like a slug.
Yeah. It was super gross.
It was
Oh.
like
Should we be, is there some kind of like investigator confidentiality? Should we not be talking about this?
I don't think there's any rules for our job whatsoever.
Okay, cool.
yeah, I don't think our job is well regulated.
I
There
don't
are
know.
no rules.
I don't know if we have like the version of HIPAA.
To be honest, I don't think Alina even finished high school. So that's the kind of qualifications we're talking about.
Okay. So I think that I maybe can do something about your extra bones. And I just called the last person that I tried this on, and she's doing this well. So
Are you a surgeon?
no, I'm actually an art student.
No, she's kind of our Cronenberg expert.
What?
Like movies.
Oh, okay.
These are
What
our
is
beef expert.
what is your plan, if I can ask?
Just kind of grab it, pull it off.
She's going to take
For the record, that's
extra.
what for the record. It's less weird in practice.
Take your extra bones, your extra muscles, pull them out.
You can say no. It's okay. I just think it might help you, buy you some time if your doctors are thinking you're about to grow new organs. That sounds really icky.
Will it stop?
I don't know.
Not necessarily.
But maybe we can slow it down.
Alternatively, if you want,
no.
I can just...
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just trying to give him his options.
No. Last resort.
Okay.
We are not inspiring confidence right now.
So my options are rip out my bones or kill me?
Or just watch.
I did not say it.
Or just wait and see what happens. You can wait. We can leave. I think maybe we should just leave. This is getting a little awkward.
I wouldn't call it kill you. It's euthanasia.
Alina. I think.
What?
No.
I'm just laying out.
You're not helping. You're not helping.
Suit yourself.
You sort of you're watching in real time as Corbin has a panic attack. All of the monitors just start beeping.
We should leave.
And
we're helping. We're not helping.
As you watch and as the monitors begin to beep aggressively loudly, you can see, because he's wearing an open hospital gown, you can see the muscle structures begin to bulge and encroach and go up.
I don't want to do anything without his consent.
He's just having a panic attack, but his muscles are getting big.
I am going to just I'm going to spend a humanity point and try to make his muscles not do that with my flesh forging powers.
With your mystical flesh prison.
Yeah.
I guess your flesh isn't so much a prison at this point.
My flesh is liminal space.
It's your medium. It's the medium you work with.
I'm just gonna hey, it's okay. It's okay. As I slowly try to peel the bulgy muscle off.
Are you taking it off?
Yeah, it shouldn't hurt. Because it's like clay. It's just.
Yeah, you sort of you do. Do you have to roll?
I do believe I have to roll for this. The move is perfect form. You can manipulate.
You don't have to, as long as you spend the humanity point, I think.
You can manipulate your own flesh to change your physical appearance. To use this ability on others, you must spend humanity, roll plus power.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I have to roll. So I have to spend the humanity point either way. Do I still have to roll?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend the humanity point and just it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And I mean, it works. So describe what you're doing. Go ahead.
My fingers kind of pry into his skin. I think there should probably be a trigger warning for body horror every time Maria uses her powers, but especially right now. And she kind of hooks her finger under this bulging muscle and almost squishes it out the way that you might pop a pimple. And she's left with a hunk of meat in her hand, and she then just kind of smooths his neck, and the wound smears closed again, like she is touching wet clay. See, it doesn't hurt. It's okay.
I'm imagining him sort of growing like in Akira?
I have not seen Akira.
If you're sensitive to body horror, don't.
I think I should watch Akira.
They do grow meat a lot.
I'm just like kind of anywhere I see him, his flesh starting to grow, I'm just like massaging it and like either coaxing it out or making it or calming it down.
As you do that, and sort of as he realizes you're not hurting him or like doing anything untoward, he does start to calm down, and the calmer he is, the like reactions also calm down, and you are able to successfully sort of smooth out the new pieces that have bulged out and cleared, and you wind up with a pile of flesh clay beside you, with
Later.
some bone chunks in it, but
Alina will try to help since she just unhelped. And as Maria is like taking off the flesh, she will sort of stand up and approach and say, you said that the two alternatives were this or, what I suggested. But as you can see, these conditions can be managed. Maria is quite good at this, and
I'm
she
so
has
glad
sort
that
of
worked.
right.
I've never done that on another person before. Wow.
She sort of has a similar situation than yours, but she, as you can see, manages it. You can learn to manage it too.
I'm gonna.
So as long as you're calm, you shouldn't grow more parts.
I'm gonna feed a little bit of flesh to my little arm mouth.
Right now, in front of him.
I'm not
seriously.
Really, I think I'm like a little turn to the side. It's hungry.
Right in front of my salad.
It needs flesh.
Are you trying to do it surreptitiously or no?
Yes.
Would you like
I'm
to
trying
roll
to calm him down.
Either tact or agile for me?
Okay. My tact is a +2, so maybe that'll be good. Don't exactly have a history of rolling well. That's a 10.
Woo! You sort of are in the middle of like coaxing, like talking him down, and like he's more focused
distracting him.
Focus on himself and what you're saying, honestly, that he does not notice as you slip some meat chunks into your arm mouth and it like swallows them down.
Do I notice?
I mean, are you trying to hide it from Alina too, or no?
Alina can notice.
But yeah, he has calmed down, and just says, "Is that what you meant? What you can do?"
Yeah. You see, it's really hard to describe. Kind of not really any good way to explain it. But I don't know, this all happened really fast for me too. But I'm trying to do a little bit of good with it.
Thank you.
Do you feel better now that you have less bones?
It's a little less achy. I mean, I'm still achy, but that's normal.
Okay. I think that if we try this again, we should probably just be the two of us. I think having everyone here is a little overwhelming.
I thought Apia was like just going around the hospital.
Down the hall.
All right. So I'm not gonna. I want to investigate the gym too, but I think we have some work to do.
I wanted to ask about the gym. because you said that you were just doing exercise at the gym. And I'm not implying that you intentionally hid from us information or anything like that. But were you in contact with any substances at the gym, let's say?
No, unless you count buying a Gatorade every once in a while from the vending machine.
Right. Was anything else off about the place? Because as far as you mentioned, your condition didn't necessarily seem to come from the gym. The gym seemed normal for what you described, but was anything about the gym off? Or the people, for example, there?
The people are all fine, pretty nice. I don't see any of them outside of the gym. We don't hang out or whatever. But everyone there seemed really happy and psyched to be there.
I'm trying to establish a point of contact with the entity. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if I have enough information yet, but I think I've exhausted what I can get from Corbin.
All right. Maybe you guys want to go check out the gym and I'll meet you there in a bit.
You have to go find Apia because Apia's
chilling.
I'll go find Apia and Alina sort of goes to find Apia and turns to Maria and gives her a look. And then goes. She's just thinking.
Thinking emoji. I assume while Alina gathers up with Apia, Maria's gonna take out some bones, yeah?
Yeah, so Maria's gonna ask, why don't you lie down? And you can tell me if you want me to stop, but I want to find what's you, and I want to get rid of the rest.
Okay.
Has he had top surgery?
No.
I can also try to do something about those if you want.
Sure.
Up to you. Just, while I'm here.
It'll definitely cost less than surgery.
Yeah. Okay, so let me check out my shiny new
power.
Bone turning.
You've unlocked it.
I unlocked bone turning. Okay, you are capable of removing, adding, and shaping bone. Roll plus power. So between my perfect form and my bone turning move, I can pretty much the flesh is my canvas.
Yup.
And I can do what I want. So how would you like me to do this, Ro? Not Ro.
Roll the power roll for bone turning, and then we'll just use that roll for all of it.
So that's a 2d6.
Oh, that's not a good face.
I rolled a 3.
Oh fuck!
I don't want to kill him.
I will give you some options that don't necessarily involve killing the patient. One of the options is that your actions fail and you kill him.
I don't want to
kill him. That's one option.
I don't want him to die.
Yep.
Nix on that one.
You can sort of take that damage that would be done to him unto yourself. And in the act of removing these bones, instead of doing it in a way that like you can just take them out and set them down next to you, you will sort of just be like taking them into you.
Bones.
Yep, and
Oh,
it will do damage. Like you will take harm. You will be able to take them out later. Like you will be able to, but it will harm you in the process of taking them in. Or you can have the failure be that when you try to do it, nothing happens, and your entity is displeased because you are attempting to go against its work, because the flesh is also trying to take hold here, and you would take a -1 to power rolls going forward until you like make amends with your entity.
That's a good way to manifest the lost humanity from a roll ago, so I guess I'm gonna absorb some extra bones.
You absorb some bones. It's whereas the first time you did this earlier, it was very smooth and like almost pleasant to watch, like a sculptor working. This time it is a little ghastly. Your hands slide in, and there's crunching and cracking noises as everything you touch in his torso sort of cracks out and bulges in your own. And you feel the extra bones taking up a little too much space, and cutting you inside in ways that you can't quite see, but you can absolutely feel.
I'm gonna feed as much as I possibly can to my mouth arm.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Considering that blood makes them grow, may I have another one by the end of this?
Probably, because bone marrow would be even more so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeding
Because bone marrow is where the blood comes from.
Yeah.
I'm feeding absolutely as much of this as I can to my mouth arms, and so by the time I'm done, I think Colin, is that his name? I don't know
Corbin.
Corbin. She like calls him Colin halfway through.
He's in too much pain to notice, so it's okay.
Well, we are flesh bonding. By the time she's done, he looks a little lopsided, maybe a little asymmetrical, but he looks mostly the right size and have a lovely flat chest. Maria also looks a little lopsided, and there's just like up to her like biceps, there is just blood going down her arms, and if you look careful, and like her skin looks oddly bumpy, and if you look carefully, it's just because like her arms are like lined with rivers of teeth.
Corbin sort of passes out from the overwhelming experience of it all, and you take 2 harm for your trouble.
I'm gonna walk out in the hallway.
The nurses see you and just immediately sort of rush you and grab.
It's okay.
Do you need a room?
No, that was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be.
They are sort of like cleaning your arms because you're just covered in blood.
And that's a health hazard.
That's a health hazard.
Did you see where my friends went?
Yes, they're in a room down the hall, but maybe don't go in.
Why not?
The patient is delicate.
Oh. And she just looks at her arms that are like kind of covered in rows and rows of undulating teeth, all of which are hungry. Do you have a cafeteria?
We can have some food brought up for you. And they just kind of set Maria down in a chair.
Let's see what the others are up to.
Yeah. So Apia, it's not hard. If you just like walk down or like ask the front desk, however you want to do it, to find the patient who was brought here from the institute.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of also using my like
Your
sixth sense.
Yeah.
My eighth sense. I have a lot of them.
She's sort of a few rooms over down the hall. And she's just curled up in the bed that she's staying in. And like every now and again, she just like taps various parts of herself. When you walk in, she's in the process of like tapping everything.
Yeah. I would like to kind of reach out to her and see if I can like establish like resonant frequency.
Yeah. Do you want to roll power for that?
Yes, I can do that. Oh, hold on.
No worries.
By the by, this is my big box of dice.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna pick my two, I think, most thematic dice for this, which are this one has moss and copper in it.
Ooh.
And then this one is the trans flag.
Nice.
Nice.
By the way, I built this last summer. It's made out of cardboard and hot glue. All right, so I'm rolling power.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so that is a 9, 10, 11. 11.
Nice. That's a full success. You sort
What's
of
that?
reach out
What's
and
that like?
resonate like a tuning fork. And like you can feel that same resonance, but like to a much quieter extent coming from her. And she looks up and is a little confused because you didn't like say anything or do anything, but she is suddenly aware of you in the room. And she just sort of like waves her fingers.
Yeah. Also, because Apia like is, you know, reaching out, if there's any like electronics in the room for a brief second, they just kind of flicker, including the lights. Just like a little bit.
I will say that in this room, they have chosen mostly older things. Like,
yeah,
they don't have any of the fully computerized monitors, because things fritz out around her as well.
yeah. And let's see, it's Vale right now. So Apia is going to say, like, I think we are both cut from the same cloth.
Do you want to take a seat? Hello.
Sure. My name is Valeria. Apia kind of folds themselves into one of the hospital chairs. Valerian also does not sit like a straight person. They're like cross-legged, crisscross applesauce on the chair.
Oh, good.
Incapable of sitting like a normal person.
She looks over at you and nods and says, I don't remember my name, but we've been testing new ones, and right now I'm feeling pretty okay with Daria.
I guess, let's see. I'm trying to like kind of figure out what Vale is doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long you were asleep for?
Not exactly. We've been trying to get some of my memories back, but it's difficult. Um, we have like a guess of about 6 months, give or take.
Just kind of like nodding and thinking. Do you want to go back to what you were before you were asleep?
I don't I don't know because I don't remember it. It's kind of scary, I guess, thinking about going back where everyone is normal and I'm not.
I just wanted to let you know that you don't have to go back. You can be whatever you want to be now.
Thank you. Haven't quite figured out what that is yet. It's it's nice and seeing that you seem like you know what you're doing is nice.
It's been, Dale like thinks for a second, 10 years, and we've decided to become something new. It doesn't have to matter what you were before.
And sort of like very like gently, she like puts a hand out.
Mm-hmm. Dale kind of takes it and says, whatever you choose to be, you're one of us now.
Thank you.
Vale kind of nods and like stands up to leave and says, like, if you need to find us, reach out and we will find you.
There's a moment of pause and like you can see her thinking for a moment, and then you feel that same sort of resonance brushing up against yours.
Mm-hmm.
And she like nods and smiles and says,
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll see you again.
I'm sure you will. And as she like brushes up against our resonance, she can probably feel that there's two people in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Vale just like exits the room probably, because that's basically all they wanted to say.
I was gonna say, at that point, it would be funny for Alina to enter the room and go like, "We're going to the evil gym. Are you done here?"
Yeah, as AP is just like closing the door.
We're going to
And
the
they're
evil gym. You coming with?
Avia just like nods and says like, we did what we needed to do here. I don't know if this is accurate to the Magnus archives at all, but I get the feeling that the stranger, like at least for Apia in this case, represents a sort of like, even though we are effectively no one, we're no one together.
Yeah.
In being no one, we are all kind of the same.
Yeah, I don't adhere to any of the canonical lore, so it's fine.
Cool. Neat.
I've taken these concepts and I've made them better.
Yeah.
We can fix it. We have the technology.
I've taken the stranger back because I'm trans.
I've taken
Yeah.
the stranger back because I'm 13 people.
I've taken the flesh back because so many reasons.
All the reasons.
Just goth and old.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me, and I was like, I'm goth?
No, I'm goth and old.
I'm pink.
But yeah.
Pastel goth is an option, and I feel like that shirt is kind of pastel goth.
Yeah.
Could be.
But yeah, you both can pick up Maria on your way out. She's eaten several hamburgers, and by she I mean the teeth on her arms.
I'm imagining you just like holding your arm out and then like pushing it down like this, like a vacuum cleaner. Like those videos sometimes that people make where they just put random stuff in a cup and then stick a vacuum cleaner into it, like that.
Slurp.
Gotta stop touching things.
Are you fit to drive? I think I'll drive. Hopefully,
I'll be fine.
won't get pulled over.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I could drive.
Fine.
I drive fine.
I can drive.
If yeah,
not
I
legal.
know the basic principles of driving.
Yeah, Maria will kind of collect herself, try to like bend her fingers, and they crunch and grind, and it's like
Crunchy.
Why don't you give well, actually, why don't you give me a minute? I'm just gonna go clean up. She's gonna run off to the bathroom. But I want to think a little bit before I decide what she's doing. Maybe
Take a break.
yeah, we're about the halfway point. Can we take a break so I can think about more gross body horror things?
Absolutely.
As I do.
We will be taking a break. We'll see you all back here in about 10-15 minutes. everyone. I would say welcome back, but it's not exactly a welcome back. Our fourth player who was going to join late will not be able to join us. And the last half of this case and some things we want, I'd like to have everyone here for. As well as we've been experiencing some weird technical issues with Streamlabs and also with our captions. So we're going to take it off halfway through this time. And next session, we will start up again with the second half of this case. And then some fun little scenes that we've been wanting to have for the last couple of weeks. So we're going to go and do our outros in reverse order. So Castro, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'm Kestrel. I use Zem Zeus pronouns. I've been playing Apia, who uses they them pronouns. And interestingly enough, Apia is made up of Valerian and Belladonna, who use he, him, his pronouns, and she, her, hers pronouns, respectively. You can find me on Twitter as Vaporwave Nashira, Vaporwave without the E, because Twitter is homophobic. And my art account is Azelfaphage Arts, which just take your best guess on how to spell that, or just search Homestuck and fan art, and I'm probably in there.
Birdie.
I know it's upsetting.
Hi, I am Birdie. I use she, her pronouns. I have been playing Maria and all of her teeth, who also uses she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter and basically everywhere else as Elephant Bird with a 3 instead of the second E. So that's Elephant Bird. And thank you so much for watching my terrible tooth adventures.
Ro.
I am Ro. I use they, them pronouns, and I've been playing Alina. You can find me on Twitter at Ro Violich, or you can, where I talk about just nonsense. Or you can follow the fantasy webcomic I write, which my partner illustrates. You can follow updates on Twitter at Of Dwarfs and Men, or you can just go read the comic at the site, which is arlefcomics.com. We are currently on a break, but at some point we will be back with a new chapter, but it's a good time to catch up, I guess. So yeah, I think that's all.
Our fourth player who is not here is Ari. He goes by he, him pronouns, and he plays Vivian, who goes by she, her pronouns. You can find him on Twitter as the frog_prince and on TikTok as just the frog prince with no underscores. He's very cool and does fighting games and social justice-y stuff on TikTok and Twitter. And I am Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I am the narrator. I play all the NPCs who use a variety of pronouns depending on who they are. And you can find me on Twitter as at Ilana Knight 13 and everywhere else as just Ilana Knight without the 13, because I forgot my Twitter in like 7th grade and it's haunted me ever since. And if you want to play this system, it's a system of my own design. You can get it for free on my itch, which is ilanaknight.itch.io. And it is based loosely on the Magnus archives, but can be played without any sort of knowledge of the lore. I'd like to thank Nova, our tech person, because without her, we wouldn't have a stream that ran. So I'd like to thank her for all of her hard work. I also like to thank my partner, Rena, who made the layouts that you see. So the one we're currently using, as well as the starting soon and be right back screens, are made by Rena at Liquid Rena on Twitter. And he's always open for graphic design commissions. So if you're looking for a layout, they make really good ones. And we will see you same time on the, 18th. Did some math. No? Oh. Yes, 18th.
18th?
Yeah, the 18th.
4 plus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I checked.
On the 18th, hopefully with all of our players to finish this bony case and do some fun little things.
Get to the meat of it.
Get to the meat of it. Yeah.
Teeth.
Thank you all for coming.